Never dispose of the pen, I'm at it again. We close to the end, the older I get, emphatic I am. They try to pretend, they try to be friend, wreak havoc instead. Look at the trends, can't comprehend my dramatic ascent. I'm heavenly sent, they try to condemn. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the man. Yeah, different vision but the same goes. Big collision off the main road, that's the beaten path where my brain goes. Felt the devil's wrath off my halo. Hella stones, no Thanos. Hella gold, no rainbow. This is hella genius in my brain lobes. Hella gross as far as revenue goes. Bought me a net for these Benjamins though. You not a threat, you an enemy though. Broke me a sweat, killing enemies slow. Body offset all these feminine flows. Hardly upset, but you testing me though. All of these stats are depressingly low. Why your girl think I'm a specimen though? Drones and them perks is my medicine though. There's no comparison. Black in America, little too arrogant. I just embarrass y'all niggas irrelevant. I shouldn't mention it. That's royal etiquette. Out of my element, way too intelligent. Grab you a therapist, send in my sentiments. Neck full of sediments. Cop me a Tesla and skirt through the valley. Drop the investment in Silicon Valley. All this cake, but I'm missing the patty. Might mess around and just move to Miami. Drums are so loud that they breaking the chassis. King of the grass like I'm Lionel Messi. I am not crass, but my mental is messy. Mud in my glass while my pencil is sketching. All these rappers, but no one impressed me. Most of them actors at labels is testing.
He's heating up!
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
We have banned your account from TikTok.
Is that what we're doing right now?
Would you like to make an appeal?
I think this is bullshit.
That doesn't give you the right.
Go fuck yourself.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Swole Normuth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, 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 testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 25 hundo and 38 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy, Papa Swolio, back with another episode. Today's episode, the Beastcast, is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everson K2, flexing on all you beef.
Fucking Catalina wine mixer.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
The fucking Catalina wine mixer.
What's going on, fam? Welcome to the show 2538, Tuesday, April the 18th. Welcome, come one, come all. Hit the thumbs up button if you're watching on YouTube. And of course, drop it in the comments down below. What are you smashing today? A reminder to everyone that is not yet a member, check out swolenormousx.com for all the free downloads like the 7 pillars. And of course, to learn more about joining our amazing fam. That's right, the amazing Swole fam that had an amazing accountability meeting yesterday. We had some brand new shirt releases. We'll talk about that after we get into the tip. But we got some new merch releases, got a new yoga class, got new recipes, got a lot of stuff going on. So it was a great call yesterday. And for those of you that didn't catch it live, you can catch the replay inside Swole TV. But before we get any deeper, a reminder that we do have a big announcement this week. And shocker, we have something else awesome going on. We have a Swole Fam Roundtable this Thursday, April 20th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Roundtable 41.
A 10! A fucking 10!
Good old DJ Airline. Thank you very much. Swole Fam Roundtable. Everyone's like, my fucking ears. Now you're awake. Roundtable 41 this Thursday, April 20th, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, live call with the fam. And these are absolutely lit. They're 2-hour conversations with myself and members of the Swole Fam. We have a bunch of people coming up on stage asking questions. We shoot the shit. We talk about anything and everything. Everything and anything goes. It's a great time. Always. This Thursday, 5 p.m. Join now over at swolenormousx.com. Okay, that's the first thing I want to kick it off with today. Happy Tainty Tuesday, everyone. Don't be a beesh, don't be a boosh, or you'll end up like Tainty Magooch. That being said, let's bust the nut open. Let's get the Swole card out. We'll give this away at the end of today's episode. Here we go, beeshes. Magic. Nice and soft and gentle today before we slam it in there. All right. Goddamn right. Tainty Magooch. Hashtag Tainty Magooch. We haven't had a Tainty Magooch card in a while, but this is what we do on Tuesdays. It's Tainty Tuesdays, and we used to do this every single Tuesday, but we haven't in a while, so let's get everyone up to speed. If you're brand new watching the live stream or listening, banging your ear holes with the knowledge cock, make sure you drop in the comments, fam, what is a Tainty Magooch? Let's define that for some of the new members or the new people, the new ear holes that are getting ravaged nowadays. What is a Tainty Magooch? Don't be a beesh, don't be a boosh, or you might very well end up like Tainty Magooch. And a lot of you have Tainty Magooch or Tainty Magoochai in your circle. You have a lot of those around you, but it's time to eliminate that. It's time to remove those. So happy Tainty Tuesday, hashtag Tainty Magooch for a chance to win today's Swole card. And let's define that in the comments below. We'll get into that tip, and then we will read some of your definitions. I think it's very important. It's very important that we clarify this for some new peeps. All right, let's see the Tainty Man. Aww. Very cute. And of course, we have the church over here. Very nice. Sleeping. Days of sleepies. All right, so drop that in the comments down below. And now let's get into that tip. Babe, just an inch, just an inch. It's cold outside. All right, let's get into the first Swole Fam post. This one is from Brandon.
What's in the box?
Brandon has a picture of some dumbbells. Was at Crunch Fitness, a little selfie in the mirror, and it says, went to church today. Goddamn right. Yow. I thought she was going to wake up. We also have one from Joe. Good for you, Brandon. We have one from Joe. A bit of an early theft. Nothing wrong with that, but I officially left California, got married, and moved to the great state of Texas. Fucking hey. Fuck yeah! My man moved out of California. Very nice. Thank you, Papa, for the program and all of its benefits. I've gone from 199 pounds with a blown appendix, COVID, and being single again down to 154 pounds. Then I built back up to 165 pounds and found myself a hot wife. Look at you. Being on the same page of fitness and nutrition with your partner has been an absolute godsend. Our lifestyle choices are always something that align with us living until we are 90 plus years old. This goes from sleep to quality foods, dodging toxic additives, and even building our home with additional water filters and a distiller. I haven't interacted with the fam as much lately, but I'm still here crushing it behind the scenes, listening to the Daily Swole every day. Bro, thank you for the support, and I'm so happy to hear that. Look at that beautiful... I thought you were both giving the camera the finger. You're showing your wedding rings. Congratulations. Congratulations on your move. Congratulations on your marriage. Congratulations on this picture in the bottom left-hand corner of you looking like a chunky chode to looking shreddy McShredderson. This is fucking ridiculous. We have a little, let me zoom into this little transformation, this fat-phobic transformation, I might add. So in the bottom right-hand corner, it says July 2nd, 2021. And then you have Christmas of 21. You have April of 22. And then we have, I guess, 4 days ago, completely different. Now, of course, the last three pictures are obviously of you flexing. And the one on July 2nd is that in a hospital room? So something was going on. You weren't doing well, and you can see in your face, your neck, the rolls in your neck. You see your arms, no definition, all the way until you lost a lot of weight, got really lean. Then you started packing on a little bit more mass. Looking great, bro. Looking great. Fantastic. I mean, it's a process. And when you think about it, it seems, for people that don't know anything about health and fitness, it seems like, wow, 2 years? 2 years? It seems like a lot longer of a time period, but from a fitness standpoint, it's not that long. That's a massive, massive change in 2 years. And of course, as Joe can probably speak to this a little bit more, and if he's listening to this right now, good for you, Joe. We're super proud of you. I'm sure Joe would concur that it starts snowballing. So as he continues to tweak and to adjust and to figure out new things and apply those things, the longer you eat healthier, the longer you get better sleep, the longer you get rid of toxic additives and you're filtering your water properly. As time goes on, even if you're doing those things just consistently, you start to see more benefits and more benefits because your body is cleansing out. Your body is resetting. And sometimes it takes months and sometimes years to just completely see exponential benefits. So as Joe is consistent and as he adds new things and learns new things and applies and just keeps hitting the same nail over and over again, you're going to keep on seeing amazing progress. Nancy says, just give him the card now, Papa. It seems likely because he's definitely not being a tainted magooch. He feffed all that nonsense. So we'll let that sit. We'll let that marinate in the background for today's show. But Joe is absolutely crushing it. So super stoked to have you. And I know you said you haven't been interacting with the fam as much lately, but just a post like that now and again, some people like to plug in and be in the chat all the time. Some people kind of sit in the back of the classroom and they're kind of, not as vocal. But even if you're that type of person that kind of sits in the back and keeps it a little bit low key, just post every couple of weeks or something like that. Let us know what you're doing because we remember you. And we're like, hey, once you post, you're like, yeah, I was wondering what was going on with this dude or this chick, whatever. It's always nice to hear an update from the fam. And what's great is that you might not be posting and in the live stream every single day because you're getting after it. You're doing it and you're busy doing all those things. And everyone has a different schedule, but you're plugging in and touching base with what works best for you. So we're here for it. We're here for it. Chris says, would you say that Joe is slaying?
Matt Damon.
I'm going to give Chris a big Matt Damon. I would say Joe's crushing it. And that's an inside joke from the other week or something like that because slay. I fucking hate it. You're asking.
Go fuck yourself.
All right. We got a post here from Kristen. This week has been interesting. I'm a 3 a.m. lifter and I've never had a problem with it. But this week I've had to cut every workout short because of nausea and vomiting. I typically lift fasted in the morning. So I did try eating a little before to see if it helped, but didn't at all. Getting real sick of shitty workouts. Any idea what might be causing this? After I rest for about 20 minutes, the nausea calms down. I'm fine the rest of the day. P.S. Definitely no babies in my belly. So that's not it. I do not know. Anyone else have any thoughts? This week I've had to cut every workout short because of nausea and vomiting. Oh no. So I do not know what the issue is. I wonder if you have caught something and maybe some food poisoning, but sometimes it only affects things like that. It doesn't necessarily lead to a headache and diarrhea. Sometimes it could just be one specific outcome. I'd have to know a little bit more details. 3 a.m. is the middle of the night. 3 a.m. is the middle of the night. So I wonder if it's sleep related, but if you're normally doing that and you didn't have that before, it probably isn't the issue. Don't know. Do not know. Any other ideas? You could drop that in the comments below. I'm not sure why that would be the case all of a sudden. Let's see. Chris says reaction to pre-workout. Maybe I've had that sometimes. Yeah, Kristen didn't say if she was having anything. So Kristen, if you're listening, are you consuming anything before you work out, fasted or not? Are you consuming any kind of caffeine or pre-workout or any kind of electrolytes, or what are you consuming? Nancy says salmonella can act like that. So curious, maybe Kristen can follow up. Maybe there's something that she ate. Because if it's out of nowhere, if you're normally working out at 3 a.m., working out at 3 a.m. in itself doesn't make you vomit. And if you're normally doing that, Yenta Vegan says carbon monoxide. Interesting. So I wonder I don't know if Kristen's working out at home. If you're working out at home, that could be something. Everyone should have a carbon monoxide meter or alarm, something in their house to let them know, because you don't smell it. I guess that could be interesting and unfortunate, but I don't know if your gym would have that issue, but you might want to test for something like that in case if it doesn't go away. Yeah, a bunch of people are saying, do you have a carbon monoxide detector? That's a really good point. I didn't think of that. Thank you, Yenta and Loretta. Good one. So check for that. Get a carbon monoxide detector, because even low levels where you're not passing out, you're not suffering like that, it can definitely lead to something like that. And you won't notice it. You don't smell it, which is why you need a detector. Can you imagine that'd be a huge save if that's the issue. So I would check that. That's a definite for sure. Definitely check that. Ron says, get out of the city. Yeah, that could be it too. I don't know. Kristen didn't give any context as to where she lives or anything like that. So yeah, let's start with that. Carbon monoxide detector. If you're doing a pre-workout, stop taking it. And carbon monoxide detectors are cheap. So you can go get one at a hardware store, Home Depot or something like that, and put that into play right away and see what happens. Can you imagine if she just posted, hey, I don't know what it is, and it happens, there's like a carbon monoxide leak? Oh, it could save her life. All right, keep us posted, Kristen, and everyone. Can you do me a favor? Because I don't know if she's listening to the podcast right now. We have a few Kristens, so if there is one, I don't know if it's the same one. This is from the Facebook group. So Kristen posted this within the last day or two, because we had the accountability meeting yesterday. So this might have been on Sunday. So scroll back, Kristen, and post on that. Go and post on her thing, and make sure she has that information. That's a really good point. Brenda says, control all the variables. What else changed? Any diet changes, different supplements or medications? Always do that. If there's something out of nowhere that is not normal. So 3 a.m. is like, a lot of people listening are saying, if I trained at 3 a.m., I'd be nauseous too. And if you've never trained fasted before, but she normally does. So if you've never trained fasted before and all of a sudden you train fasted, you might feel a little bit nauseous. You might feel a little bit dizzy and stuff like that until your body gets used to it. But if that's all consistent, if you're normally been training for years at 3 a.m., you shouldn't all of a sudden feel nauseous and stuff. Yeah, that's right, Ron. There's so much carbon monoxide in the air in the city because everyone is driving around. Yep, air pollution's a real thing. It's a real thing. You shouldn't have nausea from it. I mean, if you're really in a concentrated area, it's possible. Or if you're used to being in a different environment, more rural, and then you move to the city, it's going to be disgusting for a while until you adapt to it. Unfortunately, people adapt to it. All right, last Swole Fam post. We'll get into some more questions. Nancy says, wow, fam. I just put on a pair of shorts now that were tight last year in the legs, and now they are loose. for the past few months, I've been super down on myself because I felt like I was hitting a plateau. I stalled in lifting, felt like my diet wasn't great, still way better than it ever has been, but not great. And I was just in a funk. I haven't worn these shorts since probably early September, and they're big on me. I needed this today. All right. There you go. Who wears short shorts? Nancy wears short shorts. Nancy's swinging that big short dick right now. Good for you. Good for you. That doesn't make sense, but it's totally fine. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to.
60% of the time, it works every time. That doesn't make sense.
That's one thing about the Daily Swole. There's no requirements for it to make sense. It does not have to make sense. Okay, let's get into some questions. If you want to join all those amazing beaches, shout out to Nancy, Kristen, big time to Joe and Brandon being consistent as fuck. Congratulations, Joe, on all your progress. Join all these amazing peeps, including myself, inside the Swole fam. SwoleNormousX.com. Join us. And we have some summer Swole specials coming up. So perfect time of year to start making those changes. Fam, summer's here. Summer is fucking here. Summer's fucking here. If you're still waiting to take that, to shift, to downshift, to really jack those RPMs up, you got to get after it. It's time to get after it. Okay. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio for a chance to get your question featured. You can also submit a question over there at askpapaswolio.com. So we do these every live show. Sundays are just tons of questions, but you can call in. You can call in any time of day. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. Obviously, we try to filter the questions. So if you call in and say something stupid, you're probably not going to make it on the show. But if you have a question, you wake up at 3 a.m. in a cold sweat and you're like, oh my God, I got to ask Papa Swolio about intermittent fasting. Call in, askpapaswolio.com. Don't ask me about intermittent fasting, please. Please, don't do it.
Matt
Don't do it.
Damon.
God damn it. Now everyone's going to call in. Hey, what about intermittent fasting?
Good. Out of the door, line on the left, one cross each.
God damn it. God damn it. I did it. All right. Let's see. Papa Swolio, Mark. Nice. I'm pretty sure I know the answer. What are your thoughts on the new bill Washington passed? I have no idea what you're referring to. I don't. They pass new bills all the time. So I have no idea. So I saw that, but you can specify. I have no idea what they just passed. Okay, let's take a call. Antonio. Ve al puto nazi, Antonio.
What's up, man? I love you so much, Papa Swolio. You've helped me so much. Like, I actually started going back to the gym, too. My question was, how are you so fucking funny, man? No, I'm true. No, I'm kidding. I love your work, man. I don't really have a question, but I did want to thank you personally. So, you're awesome, dude. You're awesome. And, thank you.
Dude, thank you so much for the call. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's get a round of applause. So I expected a question. I don't filter these through. I don't listen to these before we do the show. So I appreciate it. I know it wasn't a question, but it's always very humbling. And I love hearing back from you because obviously I'm talking a lot and I see the live chat and we have like the round tables and Rise and Swole and we have a lot of private communications with the Swole fam, but I do appreciate that. And I don't play those to on purpose fluff my pillow, but it's definitely appreciated and humbling. And I'm glad that all the stuff that I and the rest of the Swole fam do every day inspires you to get back to the fucking gym and keep crushing it. So thanks for calling. And if you ever have a question in the future, feel free to call in again. Appreciate it. Thanks, Antonio. Frank, can I call you Francois? Francois says, Papa Swolio, does anyone have any suggestions on working through an injury that is affecting my workouts and causing me to become discouraged about my progress? So it depends on the injury. I talk about this a lot because when you put your body under stress, you're going to come across overuse injuries, or you're going to train a little hard and you're too sore, or you tweak something, or just shit happens, right? So you need to pivot, focus more on mobility, focus more on things that you've been neglecting. If you get hurt, it's probably because you've been neglecting things, whether or not it was an accident or not. How'd you hurt yourself? Depends on what it is. It could, and it usually is, because you were neglecting some sort of mobility or flexibility training, or weren't giving yourself enough recovery and it was weakening your tendons and ligaments and your muscle tissue and made you more susceptible to an injury, or you were training when you were tired, you weren't recovered properly, all these different things. So suggestions is to pivot, stay consistent with the 7 pillars, and just adjust what the stress is on the body, what your focus is on. If you injure yourself, upper body, focus more on lower body mobility, focus more on lower body in general. If you tweak your shoulder, focus on shoulder rehab, focus on both shoulders mobility and getting that one back up to speed. There's tons of things to do. Meditation, nutrition, everything stays the same. Your training, that 3rd pillar, is just going to be different. It's going to be different, and it's going to adjust to your needs in the moment. It's frustrating, but brain gains and meditation and staying consistent is going to keep you, centered. It's going to keep you focused on the North Star. So yes, you want to be back. Oh, I wish I wasn't injured. Okay. You can wish all you want. What are you doing to actively address that and adjust your training accordingly? Yeah, everyone hit that thumbs up button. Everyone, can we get the thumbs up button? Here we go. Everyone watching on YouTube, hit the thumbs up. It takes 2 seconds. If you're watching and we have super consistent viewership where it's like the same the whole time, if you're not hitting the like button, you're just being lazy. And if you're not getting alerts on YouTube, that's why too. If you engage, you drop comments, but you hit the thumbs up, YouTube's going to be like, all right, this person wants to be notified every time it's live. So everyone hit the thumbs up button. I appreciate the like police in the comments. I say it briefly. I don't want to sit here the whole live stream saying, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up, but it takes 2 seconds. Appreciate it. The thumbs up makes a big difference. I think a lot of people discount it and don't think it actually makes a difference, but it makes a huge difference actually. Even though you guys get swole text and stuff like that, if you're a member, it still will notify you more. And I appreciate it. You don't have to be a member. That's a great way where you can give back to the show and support it just by hitting the thumbs up, and it's more likely to show the live stream to more people. Freddie Papasolia with acromioclavicular joint injuries. I've heard even when people have recovered, they couldn't do the same stuff again. Was I lucky with mine because it feels even better now and have done new PRs after the injury? Well, AC joint injuries are usually, it's like the ligaments. You're spraining the joint. It's a very tight one. You don't get a lot of movement with the AC joint. Of course, it moves and it pivots slightly. The acromioclavicular joint is right here in the shoulder, where the acromion process or the acromion attaches to or connects to with ligaments with the clavicle. So it's all about how you rehab it. It's all about your nutrition. It's all about, a lot of people can't do the same thing because they don't rehab it properly. I think depending on how mobile and how supple your ligaments and your tendons are, you don't want necessarily supple ligaments. You want tight and strong ligaments, but you want them to be hypertrophy. You want them to be stronger. So it really depends on where your starting point when you got injured and how you address it afterwards. Because sometimes, it's interesting, sometimes people get injured and then because they get really serious and they focus on it and they put a lot of effort into it, they actually get it back to a better place than when they started. Dan says, I hit the like button 60% of the time, every time. Goddamn beesh.
Unmute.
God damn it. God damn it. Taking that soundboard way too seriously, bro. John, your 7 pillars are for life. Don't be former me and stress out injuring something and pushing through. Your injury is telling you something. Pay attention. Be patient. Your injury, you know what your injury is? Your injury is like debt. It's like a debt that, it's like defaulting on debt. That's what that's what you didn't pay. You didn't pay in advance. You took out a loan and you didn't pay it back. And now you're paying the price for it. Hold on a second. All right, let's see. Weston, Papa Swolio, can psychological stress cause a mental crash a month or two after the fact? I moved to another state a few months ago, and then about 1 week ago, I got intense fatigue. Everything else has been consistent. And yeah, absolutely. Psychological stress it's stress. There's physical stress, there's psychological stress, there's physiological stress. A lot of times you are, you have adrenaline, you have this, you go into this state of a sprint and you're moving, right? You're moving, everything's heightened, everything's at 9, 10, or 11. And then after you move, you just kind of decompress, and then all of a sudden it hits you like a wave. So you have like this adrenaline rush because you're going through a lot of stuff, moving and doing all this stuff. So then after you move, all of a sudden you kind of allow yourself to slow down, then you feel exhausted. So absolutely, I would just up your meditation and yoga and stuff like that. Very common, especially if you weren't staying with that throughout. But yeah, very easy. Rihanna, Papa Solia, outside of being physically active and reading / brain gains, what would you do for mental creativity and clarity? Go for walks. Walking is great, specifically walking. It's like a moving meditation, and that kind of pacing, step, 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 is very relaxing and soothing. And I think that all starts when you're in the womb and your mother's walking around and doing stuff. It's a very relaxing, plus it's as fundamental as it can be to being a human, is just going for a walk. So that's fantastic. Cold plunging, sauna, those things are fantastic. Getting sun. That's awesome. So a lot of times with mental creativity, what people don't do, especially if you have a creative job or you are a creative person, is you need time. You need time to be creative. You need free space. You need free play. You need just time where you don't have anything scheduled where your mind can be creative. But I would also make sure that if you're doing creative, whether you're a writer or a painter, whatever it is, that you still put in the reps. Like you still have to force it. You still have to sit down and put in the work. And then the more reps that you have to sit down and put in the work, you'll make it happen. Sometimes you have to force the momentum, but giving yourself that time and that space to do so. I would recommend reading I think we talked about that, The War of Art, which is an amazing book, especially for creative people. It's fantastic. Freddie, out of curiosity, what do you do in your free time outside of lifting weights and general fitness and mobility? It's a good question. I read. I mean, a lot of stuff that I enjoy doing that. So I do that in my free time. So I enjoy doing that. So I think the challenge for me is to make sure that I just don't lift and do stuff all the time, because you got to recover. So it's about doing different things so I don't overdo it, because I can't just lift for 6 hours a day. It's not effective. So I'll do like the little workout and active stuff in the morning with, we talked about yesterday, I did a Versa climber. So I'm starting off with like 1,000 vertical feet every day after I do my sled work and the cold plunge. Sometimes Mama Soy and I we'll go do things like going to the beach, like going to, doing gardening and stuff around the house. We've been doing a lot of housework and stuff, and we've been here for 2 years, but we still have so much to do. It's like we're just kind of moved into the point where we're finally getting some other things done. Like we still haven't like completely moved in yet. We still have a lot of things that we are fundamentally, like structurally planning to do. With the dogs, like by the time I get all my stuff done, I do the podcast and I'm filming, going for a walk, we're doing things, it's already like dinner time, and then we're chilling. We're watching maybe a TV show while we eat, or we're reading, and then we're in bed. It's a full day. I love it. So I'm outside swinging. Like I enjoy doing it. I enjoy doing it. So reading, listening to podcasts. I like consuming information and thinking. I like having we're talking about free time for creativity. I like thinking a lot. And listening to things and then processing them. And look at this. We got a little. Aww. Speaking of which, you want belly rubs? Is that what you're asking for? We got the little church. Let's get those nippies. Let's see the nips. There we go. Let me get this one. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, good girl. All right, let's see the Tainty Man. All right, we'll leave you there. Good question. Good question. Yeah, gardening, walking the dog, beach, lifting, club work. That's why I like clubs and maces, because it's a great way to train without like doing a hardcore session. Just go out there and swing for a while. It's great to listen to a podcast and swing a club or swing a mace. It's like being out in the sun, just like being outside. And a lot of it is just a lot of it is figuring out my schedule for training so I can do it more often but not overdo it. That's why I like doing the cardio stuff first thing, get my heart rate up after the plunge, and then I can swing clubs later, and then I can lift. It's fun. I love it. Plus it's what I do. So when I built the company and started doing Swolenormous, it's all based on things that I enjoy doing. So, and that's the thing that I always like to clarify. So my work and what I do, like those are my hobbies. So that's what I do. I do my hobbies all the time. And I do different things and I share them with you and I make videos and I do all the things that I do. So it's not like I need to do this and then I have something else. I built all this around the things I enjoy doing. So I'm just kind of doing the things I enjoy doing all the time. Like my work is my hobbies, my hobby is my work, is my life, it's all integrated. Mark Papasolio, follow up. If parents don't essentially, we're talking about the thing. If parents don't essentially accept that their kids are trans, the state will take them away. If parents don't, so what was what was passed? There's more to it than that. Did it pass? Did it just pass the House? This is the spies. This is 1984, right? The state and the left doesn't have children. They have yours. So they don't have their own children because they're aborting them. They are, giving kids puberty blockers or taking away people's ability to have children. And then they take yours. So I don't know the details of that, to be honest. I don't know the details. And for the people that don't know, not necessarily you, Mark, but a lot, they propose a lot of things. They'll pass it one here, but then it won't pass the House or it'll pass the Senate. There's a lot of bizarre fucking shit that gets proposed that doesn't make it through. So I don't know the details of that, so I can't really speak. But in general, that's the concept, just based on what you said, but I don't know the details of that. Sounds horrifying. Rihanna Papasolio, okay, yeah, I do love a good walk. There you go. I live rurally. Well, there you go. I garden too and paint and do lie or don't like or whatever. That's probably a typo. Right, I do like and do like. I'm assuming you're missing an L, a K, and do like writing, but have been in a writing funk over the last few years. I've been getting into reading again. Read that book, War of Art. You have to sit down to write every day. Just sit down, push it. Sit down and write. Even if it sucks, just write. Just do it. The more reps you do, the more you'll get out of it. If that's what you're trying to accomplish, if you're writing a book or whatever it is. Just read that book, War of Art. It's fantastic. Stephen Pressfield, I believe. Fantastic book. And if you read it again. Read it again. If you read it before, read it again. Just read over it. 'Cause it's the kind of thing like 48 Laws of Power, other books that you can pick up. And every time you read it, you're a different person. You have a different perspective. So reading the same book, a lot of people don't read. We talked about this recently too. How many of you read the same book over and over again, or you read certain books again? Remember, you're reading the same book, but you're a different person. So the way you read the book and what you get from the book is different than the first time. If you read a book 5 years ago, well, you're a different person than you were 5 years ago. So reading it again will give you a different lesson. Aaron, what's a crunchy snack you would recommend? I usually default to pork rinds when the craving hits. I don't need crunchy snacks. Pork rinds, I'd avoid anything fried like that. Maybe beef jerky. It's chewy. You don't need anything crunchy, per se. You don't really have a craving for crunchy. You have a craving for salt, probably. Salt and fat. But jerky, it's a little bit more chewy than crunchy. I guess you can make it crunchy. I don't get crunchy cravings. And I try not to do snacks so much. I don't really snack. I kind of eat lightly, and then we have one meal a day. So it's really one meal a day, but kind of, I had kefir, and then maybe I'll have some yogurt or maybe some fruit or some raw honey during the day, but then we'll eat 4 or 5 o'clock. We'll have that'll be like the steak meal. So it's kind of one meal a day. It's not really, it's more like eating during daylight hours. I don't go full hard. Like I can't eat until 2 o'clock. It's like, you're not getting any more benefit by eating at 10 than eating at 2. Intermittent fasting is fine, but it's a great way to restrict calories or to keep your calories more limited, which is good for your health and good for most people. Most people need to restrict their calories without overthinking it. Just by giving yourself less time to consume will keep how much you can consume more limited, especially if you're focusing on food quality before the time restricted. But you're not getting like autophagy or something because you're not eating till 2 o'clock. Like maybe if you're doing multiple day fasting, but you're not getting like, oh, it's really good to clean out my system because you're not eating from 8 to 12. Like you're skipping breakfast. You're not, your body isn't like going into autophagy or anything like that. Freddie, what's your thoughts on the sports tape? I had some on my neck, on my back at the moment. It's helping with certain issues. The sports tape. Like what? Like the kinesiology tape or something? I used it like 10 years ago. I haven't used it in forever. My thoughts, I don't know. Whatever you feel works best. If you think it works, maybe it doesn't work, but you think it does, well, then it kind of works, right? So whatever floats your boat. If you feel like it works or you like the benefit, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't use it, but I have used it a long time ago. This was like 10 years ago. I had some of that kinesiology tape. Yeah, cucumbers, some people, you're better off like removing the seeds and stuff like that. But cucumbers aren't cucumbers a fruit technically? But some people might have issues with the seeds or the skin, but you can play around with that. So that could be an option, I suppose. Lester, I know you don't like vegetables, but what about fat-free refried beans? They have protein. Are they inflammatory? Yeah, I would avoid beans. I personally do. Again, I'm giving you my recommendations and my thoughts on the matter and what I do, but yeah, I avoid beans, any legumes I avoid. Fat-free is not like a win. This is fat-free. I'm gonna be like, that's not something that I look for. But yeah, I avoid beans and stuff of that nature. Let's see, Freddie, you tried rare steak for the first time. Had it rare because I hate chewy food. So my work colleague said to have it rare since when I have had it, it was well done. It was actually not. Okay, this is not a question. Please keep it to questions. I appreciate the hashtags, but if it's not a question, then don't use the hashtag. But good. Rare steak is delicious. It's very good. It's easier to digest too. Grizzly Papasolio, who from the Daily Wire would you have on the Daily Swole? I would never reach out to have anyone on I doubt that they would never come on the podcast. Who? I mean, I don't see myself ever wanting to have anything like that. I mean, if I was asked to come on a show, I might consider it. To go on a different show, but yeah, I like those guys. And the thing is, you don't have to. Here's the thing: a lot of people will hear Daily Wire and be like, "I don't believe it." You don't have to agree with everything these people say. The most important thing when it comes to any kind of commentator is to have the facts, and you can have your own opinions about the facts. But when you have your own facts, then you can't communicate. So a lot of what the left does, or where you see in, the mainstream media, is just making shit up, or they're reframing it and they're using words that aren't true, and they'll manipulate it. So if you have the same facts, you're more than welcome to have specific views based on religious beliefs or whatever. But You have to have the same facts. You have to have the same facts. You can't be talking about the same issue with different facts. You can't communicate. You're talking past each other. It doesn't make sense. But yeah, I like, I mean, the content's great. I might not agree with everything everyone says all the time. But yeah, if for whatever reason I got contacted like, hey, we want to come on your podcast, I don't think it would work that way. I think they'd be like, hey, come on mine or come on ours. Like, all right. But no, but if they weren't like, sure, come on by. The stream would break. And then my podcast would get banned. And then it would finally get banned. Yeah, I agree. Brenda says, ew, beans are, for me, hard to digest. Gives me inflammation. No legumes or nuts. I agree. And most of you will find that you don't get benefits and you have issues especially once you remove these things for a while. So no legumes, nuts, seeds. I avoid all those. I've never felt better. Cutting those things out. Okay. Dawn Creep, Papasolio, should you count your body weight when doing squats? If you're doing body weight squats. Otherwise, it's just body weight. You mean if you're putting weight on the bar? No. That's only if you want to do relative strength. So for example, if you have two people squatting 200 pounds, one person's 200 pounds and the other person is 100 pounds, relatively speaking, the person that's 100 pounds is much stronger than the person that's squatting their body weight. So if you put 200 pounds on the bar and you weigh 200 pounds versus you're squatting twice your body weight, relatively speaking, the person that weighs less will be stronger. But absolute strength, it's the same because they're both moving 200 pounds. But like if you're squatting 315, you don't be like, well, I'm 200 pounds. I have a 500 pounds. No, that's not how it's calculated. Frank, do you have any recommendations for something to use for joint pain that is more natural than Biofreeze or Advil? Aside from phthalates or anything that's in Biofreeze, I don't use it. Advil, I would avoid like the plague. Don't take ibuprofen. That stuff fucks your gut up. It's not a good thing. Please avoid that if you can. I would recommend cold plunging. Cold and getting rid of inflammatory foods and more mobility. It's more about what you're not consuming than what you are. It really is. This is why we call it the elimination diet. I don't like the word diet, but it's easy vernacular for people to comprehend. It's more about what you're not consuming. You'd be shocked at how many things cause joint pain. Michelle, I loved almonds, pecans, and pistachios, but they tear up my gut. Haven't missed them since starting the elimination diet. You get addicted to feeling good. You get addicted to making progress. You get addicted to that, and then you want more, and you want more, and you want more. Let's see. Jay, Frosty Balls. Good to see you, bro. Papa Soli, have you heard New York's mayor, quote, declaring war on red meat and dairy? I haven't. A stupid thing to say, so not surprising. Coming from that hellscape, says plant-based is better for physical and mental health and wellness. It's so sick when it's just a flat-out lie. And you're supposed to look to these people for authority, which I think most of us know is like, all right, it's smoke and mirrors. But everything is about killing people, being body positive and pro-obesity to eating plant-based shit with glyphosate and atrazine and all these inflammatory nutrient void foods to puberty blockers and abortions like up and post-viable. It's fucking gross. It's all about killing people. It's all about harming people's health and negatively affecting their ability to reproduce, which also comes from eating plant-based. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible, especially when parents are vegans and then they get pregnant, like their kids are deformed and they have weak bones, and it's awful. Poor brain development. It's terrible. I haven't heard that, but I'm not surprised. I haven't heard that. Fucking gross. Fucking gross. Yeah, I appreciate some of you asking would I ever have. We had some guests in the past. We might do that. Like one day a week, we might have like a Swole fan member on the show or call in or doing something like that. We've had Swole calls before, which I like even better sometimes. So we might, I've thought about that. A day a week, maybe we'll have, you know, a couple people or something like that, or one person come up on the show or have a call and replace an episode with that or something like that. We did that in the past. I just like doing the show when I do the show, and the scheduling just haven't gone down that road yet, but I've thought about maybe doing one day a week where we had something like that on the show. So I'm open to it. It wouldn't be every day, of course, but we have the accountability meetings. We have the accountability meetings. We have the roundtables. We have the Rise and Swole. So I thought about that for something like Saturdays or something like that, right? Swole Slut Saturdays. It's perfect for that. Get a Swole Slut up here. Or a couple Swole Sluts. Mariah, I was so annoyed when I found seed oil and soy in my bone broth. Oof, they put the crap in everything, got to work towards making everything from scratch. It's so much better too. And yeah, you should be annoyed. It's criminal. Seed oils and soy, it's fucking in everything. Read the instructions and you'd be shocked as to what they don't have to list too. Let me check. I think someone was at the door. Okay. Seed oil, what were we talking about? Oh, even things like phthalates, like fragrances. When you see, this is why you want to avoid phthalates and avoid products that have fragrance in it, unless it's estrogenic free. So when it says fragrance, it's usually like 200 or 300 chemicals that they'll put in there and just list fragrance. So this is why things that you put on your body is so important, to make sure that you're eliminating all these toxins. And then you have women that are having trouble conceiving, and you have people that have endocrine dysfunction and just obesity. And it's not just what you're eating, it's your environment. It's all these things that you're slathering on yourself. Like people worry about like, oh, I'm cutting down on my calories, I'm eating salads, and then they're spraying perfumes and deodorants absorbing directly into their skin, and body lotions and oils and fabric softeners and detergents and hand soaps and like the triclosan and all this fucking like hand sanitizer, which does jack shit. That's gross. Super grody. Rihanna, this may be a me thing, but on your merch, I love the fit of the t-shirts, but the only weird thing I've wondered about is the fit of the sleeve itself, hugging my underarm. Should I just get sleeveless? I mean, you can. I couldn't tell you about the actual fit. Have you tried like a tank top? Have you tried a tank, or maybe cutting? Like when I get hoodies, I'll just cut a slit here. I'll cut like a V so it fits better on the neck. You've wondered about? Like, is it hugging? You said you've purchased them, right? Any questions about anything like that, you can send an email to the support team. The sleeve hugging your underarm. I mean, if you don't like sleeves, or you get the sleeves and cut them off yourself. I mean, there's different ways to do it. All right, fam, time to go balls deep. Thanks for the question. Good questions. Any questions with merch, just feel free to send us an email to support@enormous.com. Any other questions and stuff like that. Okay, so if you want to submit a question, askpapasolio.com to submit a question. You can call in, or you can just be here for tomorrow's episode. So Thursday is private. Thursday we have our roundtable at 5 p.m. So tomorrow will still be a public episode, and then Thursday it'll be private at 5. Join the fam today, SoeNormousX.com. Let's get into some ridiculous shit. Now, a lot of you know that when we go balls deep, we are essentially the janitors of the interwebs. So it's time to mop the floor It's time to...
Are you not entertained?
It's time to clear some shit up.
Are you not entertained?
Do I have any more coffee? I think I might. We're going to need some more. We're going to need some more. Could be the size, too. Going back to Rihanna. Like, could be the size. Just get a bigger size. You mean you're just buying a t-shirt? Dan says, balls deep frightens me. Good.
I am the danger.
Good, Dan. You should be afraid. You should be afraid. We all get afraid by watching them because it's fucking horrifying. And again, the analogy is whenever you have those stepping stones in your front yard, you have one of those like flat, paver stones. You turn it over and you see all the bugs that never see daylight. This is what the balls deep is. We're like, ooh, that's what's under there? Fucking hell. Fucking hell. All right. So let's do this. Oh, that's right. I got that video. Is this the one? Oh. That looks like... What was the... E Honda. That chick looks like E Honda from Street Fighter 2. Looks like You lose. Looks like E Honda. If you know who E Honda is, you know what to expect. Oh, God. Dylan Mulvaney's doppelganger. Oh, this is brutal across the board. All right, fam. Pick a number 1, 2, or 3.
I didn't know they stacked shit that high.
1, 2, or 3. 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 Oh, thank you so much for the support, Rihanna. Love it. The sleeve on the arm, not really a shoulder neck area, but I thought about cutting and getting sleeveless in the future. Yeah, try it. We have the racerback tanks too. All right. Thank you for supporting the merch. Let's go Rihanna number 3. Rihanna number 3.
This is Melted Cubicle.
All right. Rihanna's going to kick us off. We love a good Rihanna. We went Rihanna. You picked Rihanna went full E Honda. You went full E Honda.
Hadouken!
So this is E Honda's with the straight arm. It's like the big sumo wrestler from Street Fighter 2. Greatest game ever. One of them. This is gonna be horrible. This is horrifying. This is titled Petition Airline Fat Policy. Let's see what we got.
Did you know that more than 1 billion people in the world are plus size? That's roughly 13% of the population. And
I'm sorry, what? Did you realize that 1 billion people in the world? That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. All right, that's gross. Is that true? I wouldn't doubt it. Most people are fucking fat or muscleless.
did you know that more than 1 billion people in the world are plus size? That's
not in India or China. Not in India or China. They're not there. Where else are they? Where are all the obese people? Where are they? We got about 250 million here. Where's the other 750 million? Where are they? Where other countries are fat? Where are they? Where do you think they are? Is there a fat database where it says like where the fat people are? They're mostly in the United States, but where else are they? Just curious.
roughly 13% of the population. And yet, many airlines still don't have clear policies in place to accommodate plus size passengers. That's why I've started a petition calling on the FAA to require every airline to have a clear customer size policy in place for plus size passengers.
Newton is rolling over in his grave. He's like, gravity exists. You do realize gravity exists. That's right, the UK. Gravity is a thing. Gravity is a thing. You can't just lift anything off the ground. They just don't understand physics. If you want to pay $1,000 for a flight from Orlando to Jacksonville, okay, let's petition the FAA. Or what's going to happen? You're going to need government grants. They're going to print more money to subsidize the airlines, and we're all going to be more. They're going to steal more from your pockets. Let's just subsidize more shit. Let's just give people more free stuff. Why not? Why not? Because you can't control your nutrition because you have terrible habits. You're going to get what, like an extra size seat and more leg room, and you're going to get essentially first class for just being fat and lazy. Okay. This is not plus size. Technically, yeah. Well, technically fat and plus size is like, yeah, you're 15, 20 pounds. Like, yeah, this is absolutely morbidly obese. This is like you need a crane to be taken out of your room. Okay.
Should have to endure the discomfort, embarrassment, and discrimination that often comes with being a plus-size passenger trying to navigate air travel.
All right, I'm stopping this again because it's that stupid. I'm not comfortable on planes. Okay? I'm not comfortable on planes. And understand that this is both ways. But I do it on purpose. I lift weights. I build muscle. Airplanes are not comfortable for anyone unless you're first class, business class, and you have one of those suites. It's not comfortable. They're flying you through the fucking sky in a tube. It's not like your comfort's not number one. It's getting there safely, and you're literally flying through you're flying through space. Okay? Now I'm choosing to build muscle and to be this way, so I'm not going to complain, oh, I can't fit in the seat. Quite the opposite. I'm like, if it's tight, I'm like, fuck yeah, fucking gains, bro, fucking gains. I get excited. It's like, ooh, the seatbelt. Ooh, it's tight. It's tight. Daddy's getting fucking yoked. But you're choosing that as well. You're choosing your outcome. It's just your habits. It's compounded, thousands of compounded habits over the course of your life. No one is that big. No one's the way you are without terrible lifestyle habits. Show me someone that's like that does everything that we talk about here. It doesn't happen.
Signing this petition, you can help us demand that airlines take concrete steps to make air travel more inclusive and accommodating for all passengers.
I'm gonna stop it right here. By signing this petition, you can help us demand that airlines take concrete steps. That I understand. Airlines need concrete steps if you're going to be walking up into the fucking plane. Concrete steps indeed. Concrete. Titanium alloy. Okay.
Steps to make air travel more inclusive and accommodating for all passengers. Whether you're plus size or not, everybody deserves to be treated with dignity and respect when they fly. Let's work together to make sure that the travel industry serves everyone, not just a select few. Sign and share this petition, and let's make a difference.
Let's make a difference. Bro. Give me a break. Give me a break. It's called physics and an industry. Here's what I think you should do. Okay, here's what you can do. Why don't you start an airline? Why don't you start an airline that caters to fat people? How about that? Call it, I don't know, call it Juicy. Okay? Call it Juicy, paint the planes pink or whatever you want to do. Put Lizzo's picture on the side. And start your own airline. It's called a private plane because you're going to have 10 fucking seats on it. It's going to be $10,000 total a flight. And then you're like, oh my God, it's not free. It's not the same price. And then you're going to complain that the seat is not the same fucking price. It's going to make everyone's ticket more expensive. So what these people want is a huge fucking seat with more leg room and to be comfortable for the same price as everyone else. Oh, we're so oppressed. We're so oppressed. No, that's called gravity, but we're so oppressed. We want more for the same. Oh, you do now, just for free. You just want more. Because why? Because you deserve it for doing nothing? The plane's going to be fucking sideways. You got to balance it out. Come on. Jesus Christ. So you're starting a petition. I want to know, what are you doing for your health? What are you eating? What are your lifestyle habits? But you're going to put all this effort into a petition. The amount of effort that you're going to put into this petition and shit, you could just go to the fucking gym. You could just start taking care of your health. You could make better choices. But no, we want bigger fucking seats. Damn, savage, Jeff. You think I'm bad, fam? Look at the rest of the fam. You got some animals out there. Jeff says they'll have king-size candy bars for in-flight snacks. And they'll eat it like this. Okay. All right, Jeff. I see what you did there. Maddie says, listen, we are all uncomfortable on planes. Not my fault. You make it worse for yourself. Fact. Not saying that to be rude. Look, we're all uncomfortable. When's the last time you were on a plane? Unless you're buying one of those Saudi Arabia Air, you have like a bed in there. Even business class, like it's not that much bigger. It's like this deflated. You're not getting a super comfortable seat, especially domestic. It's not like extra special unless you're going international. You have planes that are a little bit more geared because you're on them for 8 or 9 or 10 or 20 fucking hours. So it's a little bit more, and it's more money. You're going, it's a lot bigger plane. It's more expensive because of the fuel and everything like that. But domestic flights, like you're going New York to Florida or this or Spirit or Delta, it's like fucking sucks. It's going to suck. First class or business class, it's still going to suck. It just sucks a little bit less. You walk past like the business class, it's like what, a foot extra? Ooh, so fancy. What do you think, buddy? Yeah, he doesn't care. What do you think, Church? She doesn't care either. Yeah, flying's terrible. But I'll tell you what. Really? This guy's dropping off. I checked the security. The beeping in the back. Someone's dropping off, you know, those cars, like those trailers with a bunch of cars. Someone must have gotten a car delivered, or he's backing up, so he's honking so he doesn't kill someone. But look, if you are that big and you're signing a petition, look, take that energy. Take that energy and go to the fucking gym and take care of yourself. Fat airlines. Enjoy everyone paying so much more. We're going to pay more per ticket so someone can continue their bad habits. It's never going to be enough. They're going to want more seats. It's not enough seats. Oh, it's too expensive. Oh, it's not big enough. And then someone else big. It's never going to stop. This is the give a mouse a cookie. He's going to want a glass of milk. Give him a glass of milk. He's going to want a napkin, right? You give him a napkin, then he's going to want a bed for a nap. And then remember that book? It's just an inch. Give an inch, take a mile. It's never enough. It's never enough. It's never enough. It's never enough. A little bit. Oh, but you're so mean to me. Give me this. Okay, give you a little bit. Oh, but give me this. If you give people what they want just based on fucking complaining, guess what they're going to do? They're going to complain more so they can get more because it works. It's like a child. It's like a child. Then you say something that they don't like. Oh, save space, my feelings. That's what happens when you raise children in a fucking bubble. When you nerf the world or nerf your environment, everything hurts. It's like wearing shoes, big padded shoes your entire life. And the first time you take off your shoes and you walk on grass or you step on a Lego or a pebble and you're like, oh my God, it hurts so much. If you're barefoot all the time, you're like, you're normal. It's normal bumps and you're used to it. You're used to it. All right, let's get into another one. Number one, I might have to take the, I'm going to do it because the last one, we're not going to, I'm pulling rank here again. I'm pulling rank. I have to. No, I have to. I fucking have to.
You're insane, gold member.
I have to pull rank.
Pay him.
I have to.
Pay that man his money.
I have to. We got to do number 2 first because number 1 is a game it's over. We do number 1, it's over. Hit that thumbs up button, fam. If you haven't yet, words of like, please, in the comments, and make sure you leave us a 5-star review on Spotify, Apple Podcast. Bang your ear holes. Share with your friends. Cerny, you could fucking goddamn right, it's my show. Goddamn right, it's my show.
Loud noises!
Goddamn right. But I like to be respectful. I like to raffle it off. But sometimes I got to be like, no, we're doing this first because there's no coming back from number 1. This one's called Fat Phobia and Making Friends.
What's in the box?
You know, I have talked about how hard it is to date as a plus-size woman, and a lot of us have talked about fat phobia when it comes to, you know, romantic relationships. But I think we need to have a conversation about fat phobia when it comes to making friends. Did I say fat phobia? Fat phobia. I remember when Erica Banks opened her biscuit head ass to say she only wanted female friends that had a certain body type and a certain look. And
What words were just put in that sequence? What'd you just say? That's a soundboard. Erica Banks' biscuit ass. What just happened?
Fat phobia. Fat phobia. I remember when Erica Banks opened her biscuit head ass to say she only wanted female friends that had a certain body type and a certain look.
What is
and
that?
You know, the internet got her together, as you know we should. But it really made me realize how
Biscuit
much
ass?
women are seeking women to be friends with purely based on aesthetic. And
Okay, let me stop you right there. Before we go any further, you are a woman by all intents and purposes. You seem to be one. You should know that women are so fucking emotionally savage. They're psychologically manipulative. And I'm not saying that all women, I'm not saying women are evil, but women are really savage with one another in general, like more judgmental, like a lot of the things that you think guys are thinking. No, you're thinking that way because that's the way you would talk behind another woman's back. If you have children, and I don't have children, but I know because I've been around a lot of kids, girls are like psychologically manipulative. Boys will just destroy shit. Boys will like put fucking holes in windows. They'll go dig up snakes and like break shit. Women will break your soul. We know that. We know that. You don't have to, but when you look at kids, boys are more physical. Girls are like, you know, having a tea party and like the panda bear at the tea party is like, oh, the panda bear didn't invite the dragon to the tea party. So the dragon was sitting in the corner because he was jealous and like, well, what the fuck is going on here? It's the most savage tea party and everything's a fucking stuffed animal. This girl is just like navigating this manipulation at his fucking tea party. No, you can't have that. So-and-so, you can... This is fucking funny. Anyway, so let's
one sense, I get it because it's like, you know, you assume that someone with a similar style or aesthetic to you has similar interests. But
okay, this is what raises. You assume that someone with a similar style and similar aesthetic would have similar interests. What? You're both fat, so you're going to get along with the same fat things? Is that the same as saying like, well, you're black and I'm black, so we must get along great together? Hey, another white person, we must like the same things. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. If you're in really good shape and someone else is in really good shape, I guess you both like to work out. But thin ice right now was thin ice. It's very superficial, thin ice.
Also, it's a little bit deeper than that because it hints that you only want to be friends with certain women for the access that they can give you. You know, you want to be friends with a bad bitch because she can get you into X club or she has...
That's called being selfish and using people. Like a lot of people do that. They're friends with someone or nice to someone because of what they get from them. Yeah, those are called toxic people. Welcome to life. Oh, you mean some people know or are friendly to certain people because of the benefits they get from knowing them? Ooh. Oh. Oh.
access to X celebrity, X man, X whatever. And it exposes how base level a lot of these friendships really are that y'all are looking for. Because me being fat or me not being society's standard of beautiful makes you uncomfortable because you don't want to be denied getting into a club with me and then you have to stand with me and not get in.
All right, talk about things that are not important. I'll take things that are not important in life for 1,000, Alex. If you stand with me, you're not going to get into a club. I wonder why. The bouncer's going to be like, yeah, that's not going to bring dudes into the club. Straight up. You're talking about an industry there's probably nothing more superficial than the club scene and that kind of scene. yeah, being attractive makes a difference. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of. Pretty much. You're literally talking about the most superficial, like, oh my God, I can't walk for Balenciaga. Like, no, not that you want to, but yeah, there's a reason. Like, you need to be a certain height. You need to be a certain, you're not getting into fucking getting into a club. Get a fucking job. What is this fucking clubbing bullshit? This is silly.
Because I can't get in. I.e., this friendship is extremely conditional. You know, I've received the advice as a plus-size woman to find other plus-size women to hang out with because they truly will understand, you know, what it's like to be a fat girl. And, you know, our experience is just different from everybody else's experience.
So you can get together and just complain to each other. That sounds lovely. Good stuff.
But that comes with another can of worms that I will talk about at another time.
Don't eat them.
In the friendships I've had with people who are, I guess, standard size or skinny/slim, and not all of them.
I appreciate not saying straight size, so we'll give you a 1 in the win column. Thank you for not using that stupid term. Appreciate it.
But I've had a few where the fat phobia is just dripping and seeping out their pores, but they have
dripping. Oh, the fat phobia is dripping. Oh, no. Oh. Oh, Bubba, no.
no idea that they're doing it. And you know, I was just expected to play a supporting role in their life or be the comedic relief. I'm sorry, but as a grown-ass woman, like, nobody is going to make me feel like I'm the ugly friend or I'm a second-class citizen. Like,
I'll zip it. Okay.
Now, once you've had sex with the woman, she will naturally start to depend on you, okay? All women do this.
All right. Julian says, the septum piercing says it all. Yeah, if you're just listening, there was a septum piercing there. There's a septum piercing. I know.
Matt Damon. Are there any women here today?
I know. All right. So that was that. Let's do this. We got one more. Now, a lot of you know that I pulled rank and I did that one first. Okay. So if you know that I did that one first, you must assume that the next one, what the fuck is next? Papa, what is next if we did that one first? If you pulled rank, what's next? Well, I'll show you. This is a response to a comment on TikTok. So I'm just going to read that comment. That way you have context. I don't know what the person's going to say. It says, it's unnecessary. Biological women are the standard. Trans women are the deviation. Extra adjectives aren't needed for clarity when we are the definition. So it's a woman saying that, like, I'm a woman. And a trans woman, aka a man, pretending to be a woman. Yeah, that's absolutely the deviation. You could live life how you want to, but let's not get it twisted. Okay? Let's not get it twisted. Let's not tyrannically tuck it.
There's tiny tuck, typical tuck, total tuck, and the tyrannical tuck.
And the tyrannical tuck. The tyrannical tuck. You just put the dick up the assholes. Okay.
And my existence, while grotesque and incomprehensible to you, saves lives.
Here we go, fam. Okay. This is called Deviation from the Norm. First-time listeners, subscribed. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Lupa. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Howard in the house. Look at this guy's asshole. Look at his butthole. This is like the tyrannical. You can literally just... you can fist the dog's asshole. Okay. I gotta sew that. Oh, it ripped. Sorry. Okay. Subscribe. Welcome to the insanity. Here we go. First time listeners, subscribe to play this video. I appreciate the show. Unsubscribed. You subscribed. You might regret that. Here we go. This is called Deviation from the Norm.
What's in the box?
I better use my strong hand.
You know, I was going to make a whole video response to this question about how the assertion that bio women are the standard and trans women are the deviation is a very strange form of white supremacist eugenics. And I was going to also point out how you have green eyes, and green eyes are actually considered a deviation from the norm. And so
Not the same. Gonna pause it. Not the same. You have green eyes. That's a deviation from the norm. So what you're saying is having green eyes is the same as thinking that you're a woman when you got a Y chromosome and a cock. Same as having green eyes. I have hazel eyes. It's pretty much green. I'm a deviation from the norm. Yeah. I'm gonna deviate. I'm gonna deviate Howard's fucking face. Howard's the duck, by the way. It's fucking creepy as shit.
It is not my place as a smaller bodied white man to comment on it.
Look at Brenda. I love this whole fucking technical. Green eyes might be a recessive trait that appears dominant under special circumstances. I have green eyes. Thank you, Brenda. Oh, I love it. Maddie says, I have green eyes. It's called having a recessive gene. Changing your sex is not a recessive gene. All right. There's more. Let's see what it says.
considered a deviation from the norm. And so I can't remember if it's the same amount of people that have green eyes or the amount of people that have red hair are about the same amount of people in the US that are transgender, but it's one of those two statistics, and the other one applies to intersex people. I think it's red hair trans people, green eyes intersex people, but I can't remember. The point is, I am as common as your goddamn eyeballs. And
well, that's...
We choose truth over facts.
My God, that is so...
Are there any women here today?
That is not true. That is... Holy fucking Christ, that's not true. That's so untrue. It's almost hard to quantify. All right.
Trans people, green eyes, intersex people, but I can't remember. The point is, I am as common as your goddamn eyeballs. And yet, I don't need to say that because I cannot convince you to love and cherish and celebrate other people that are different than you when you are in love with your own privilege and when hate is a hobby for you. So instead, I'm going to tell a story.
When hate is a hobby for you. So I'm just pausing this here because I think it's important. A lot of people don't talk about this stuff because they're afraid of touching the third rail. I don't care. If there was a fourth rail, I'd fucking rub my taint on it. Blaming you. He's blaming you. He's telling you you're hateful. You're the hateful one. You have hate as a hobby. Is it? Is it hate as a hobby, or is it having a triple-digit IQ? Is it understanding science and evolution and using common sense and logic? Is it you having hate as a hobby? And the creepy and pretty much evil thing that's being slung at this individual, because it's a reply to this comment. So let's look at this as he is replying to this person, this woman, a woman. I don't have to say biological woman. I think that's a loss. I think that's a big mistake, is having to say biological woman. Do we all, I mean, do you agree? That's like saying grass-fed beef. It's like, no. I shouldn't have to specify there's beef and then there's real beef or healthier beef. No. Grass-fed beef should be, oh, that you mean the cows ate what they're supposed to fucking eat? Oh my God. It says grass-fed beef. You mean beef. And the other one is corn, soy, hormone-injected beef. There's women. It's not biological women. There's a woman. There's a woman. An adult human female. And that's it. It's a woman. There's woman. And there's not. You don't have to specify. Like, that's an insult to women saying, I'm a biological woman. No, you're a fucking woman. No shit, no, you don't say. As if there's another fucking kind. So even using that, and you see a lot of people just saying that, biological woman. It's like, no. You're using that language. You're making it, you're creating a spectrum of women. It doesn't exist. There's not a female spectrum. There's gender dysphoria, and there's men that want to dress like women, manipulate or mutilate their bodies to be as close as they possibly can as a man. Okay, that's not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. You can have, that's a separate argument, right? I just think that's an insult to women in itself. And this, in other words, this video is a response to this woman leaving a comment. So this woman has a hobby of hate. This woman has a hobby of hate. And that's exactly right, Mark. Mark says he's essentially woman-facing. You can't paint your face black, right? That's blackface. You're pretending to be a fucking woman. And we all have to like bow down and pretend like that's a thing that makes any kind of sense. Not that you can't do it. I think people that do the squirrel suits, the Red Bull videos and stuff like that, that fly through the sky, I think that's fucking insane, but people can do it. Let them, they want to take that risk and live that life, then fine, go do it. I'm not saying you can't, but it doesn't have to have my approval for like, I'm not going to agree to that being a normal, logical thing. It's not. What was I going to say with that? I'm sure I'll come back. Okay. But remember, this is the person responding to a woman saying she has a hobby, hate as a hobby. So you're othering, you're blaming, you're getting upset at this woman for your own insanity and projecting your own hatred and self-hatred and lack of purpose and frustration by playing a victim as everyone else is hating on you to leverage power and attention. That's what this is for. This is for attention. You don't dress like that, and it's grotesque, but it's manipulating and gaslighting for attention. Okay.
That story is how I sat in community with some of my other trans siblings today.
I sat in community with my other trans siblings today. The reason why I'm stopping it so often and I'm talking and picking apart the language is because language is important. Words are important. Words have meanings and they're important. Trans sibling. Trans siblings. So brothers, sisters. This is not healthy. This is not a healthy state of mind. I don't believe I need to state that, but people need family. People need community. And this is the community with the most leverage, the smallest amount of people, the loudest voice. And until people snap the fuck out of this insanity, this kind of power grab is going to continue.
I'm going to tell a story. And that story is how I sat in community with some of my other trans siblings today. And we just talked. And it felt so wonderful. And I've been seeing one of my friends who's been recovering from a surgery, and she's doing really well. And we've just been sitting and talking and becoming closer and building the sisterhood that we want. And talking about how she's from Missouri, I'm from Florida, and things are real fucked up in both of those states right now, and how
things are fucked up in Florida. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day in Florida. It's amazing. It's amazing. Make America Florida. The sooner the better.
much we care about the trans people that are in those states right now. I don't have time to battle you. I want every person seeing this to go call their legislators.
I don't have time to battle you, so I'm going to make a 2-minute TikTok about that. I don't have time to battle you. As I battle you, call your legislatures. No, they seem to be doing just fine. They seem to be just fine. Okay? I don't have time. I don't have time for this. My sisters, sorry. Where's the fetus going to gestate? You're going to keep it in a box? We will fight for your right to have babies. Brother, sister, sorry. What's the point? What's the point of fighting for his right to have babies if he can't have babies? It is symbolic of a fight against oppression. Life of Brian covered this like 50 fucking years ago. My God. The fact that it's reality now is mind-blowing.
And make sure that they know that whatever anti-trans bill is on the table in your state does not belong there. Because bigotry doesn't belong in my comments. It doesn't belong in the United States. It doesn't belong anywhere in this world.
Stop you again. Using that term bigotry has no place here. You hear all the terms. Pay attention to the language. You're the one with hate. You're the one that's a bigot. That used to mean something. That used to be offensive. It's you. You're the bigot. You are the transphobe. You are the one that's eradicating. Right? It doesn't belong anywhere in the world. This is what a cult does. It others, playing the victim, pretending like there are people out to attack you. Everyone else is mean. Everyone else is a bad person. You are virtuous. You are better. You are so loving and accepting, except if you don't agree with me. That's the veil of compassion. That's the scam. It's you are the problem. You are the problem. We are loving and compassionate, except if you don't agree. And then you're a bad, bigot, evil, mean person. Interesting. I'm taking notes. It's not looking good for you. In more ways than one. Let's put it that way.
It does not belong as long as people exist. Bigotry is a disease, and we have got to eradicate this.
Eradicate it. Bigotry is a disease now, and we have to eradicate it. Now, it's funny. The left always does this. They blame you for what they're doing themselves. Do you think that's a strong term? Eradicate? Yeah. Eradicate. Like we eradicate babies? We eradicate rights? We eradicate freedoms? Eradicate. Eradicate. So accepting. So compassionate. So loving. Unless you disagree. And then we'll eradicate you.
Shut up, bitch!
Okay.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Here's the thing. If you want to be a woman, then I'll call you a bitch. There you go. You fit it perfectly. Aside from the everything else. But we'll play on the same field for a moment. So, but that's important. Think. Bao says this calls for a Bud Light. Nice.
America! Fuck yeah!
So, but think about this, right? It's pro-obesity. This is why we cover all these things, because it's very important. It's pro-obesity, right? We just saw the one from the woman with the airlines aren't equipped for a 600-pound woman. Good. Why should it be? That's ridiculous. You got to pay. If your bag is over 25 fucking pounds, you have to pay money. and you're 400 pounds overweight. So how does that make sense? Let's just leave it there. A plane can only fit so much weight. It has to lift off the ground, can only fit in so much luggage. You got your carry. You got your supposed to put that underneath the plane, not like have it in your seat. So you have this pro-obesity movement. It's killing people, right? You have that mayor and many other people, right? The plant-based shit. You should eat crickets and bugs and, blah, blah. Eat these fucking leaves. Terrible for people. They're pushing vaccines. Have free beer, have free fast food to get a vaccine that's negatively affecting women's menstrual cycles and pregnancies and miscarriages. We know that objectively. But don't go outside. Don't exercise. Don't eat better. Just take this experimental drug, right? You have, it's not really a pro-choice movement. We can have that discussion where I don't disagree. I think some situations, yeah, you don't want to have, I get it, like rape, incest. You have something that really is putting the mother's life in danger, but it's not really pro-choice anymore. It's pro-abortion. You have all these depopulation controls. You have parents, schools, mainstream media promoting this trans ideology. It's an ideology, which means you're not going to be having children if you're taking puberty blockers and all these different hormonal controls, or cutting off, you're mutilating, cutting off your tits, you're cutting off your dick, your tyrannical tucking, whatever you're doing, you're going to damage your reproductive systems. So all of these different methods is just about eradicating people. Is just about just shutting down everything. But if you disagree, you're a bigot. You don't support diversity. You are a hateful person, right? Hate is your hobby. That's some fucked up shit. That's what evil sounds like. And for someone who's not paying attention, that watches that video, it's like, oh, it's just this mentally deranged individual. This is just a symptom. This is a symptom of this deeper movement that's happening. And you see it everywhere, but this is the way it looks like. If you look at it, everything is about eradicating humans. Everything is about killing people's reproductive capacity or killing them straight up. Just people dying. There's no good information out there, especially from mainstream sources, which still, it's becoming less mainstream, but it's really all about, it's not about health. It's not about getting people more well, right? Even using less fossil fuels, and we're going to use all electric cars. The grids can't support it. We don't have the raw materials. And if we want to move more towards electric cars and stuff like that, we have slaves mining cobalt in Africa. So you're damaging humanity. You're keeping Africa in the slums because now you're pushing ESG narratives and these communist movements that are literally going to keep Africa poor because you're restricting their growth and their modernization. Everything is towards just this elitist control and sterilization. So you have to ask, okay, what's really going on? What is the reason for it? Yeah, it's money. Yeah, it's control, blah, blah, blah. But what's the outcome? Right? What's the outcome? I'm not saying there's someone in a dark room with like a monocle, like, we're going to stop people having children. But this is the outcome, right? I'm not saying this is like a dark cabal, like a fucking, I don't know, what movie would have that? Like X-Files. That was like the canon from the X-Files. So I'm not saying it's that's exactly what's the goal, but that's what the outcome is. So if that's what the outcome is, that's all that matters, isn't it? That's what matters. What's the result? Oh, but we're doing this for compassion. We're doing this because we love people. Diversity. We want people to live their authentic selves. Do you? Is that what's happening? Is that what the outcome is? When you're mutilating children, when you're sexualizing children, when you're letting prisoners out of jail, serious offenders, when someone commits murder and gets out that after fucking noon? Yeah, I know it's the World Economic Forum. I know. I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying that's the goal. It's like, but that's the outcome. So some people will have that goal. Some people will be promoting depopulation. Some people are actively promoting that. I'm not saying they're not, Frank. So yeah, the WEF, the World Economic Forum, absolutely. It's in the books. It's written. Yeah, the communist, the CCP. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So there are. So think about this, right? China's like their population is crashing. So people are worried about China, but China's collapsing because they had the one-child policy. So anyone that says, oh, it's a conspiracy theorist, that it's depopulation, you literally have China that for the last, 100 fucking years was literally restricting people from having more than one child. So this is not far-fetched. Like it was going on until very recently when they realized, oh shit, we're not going to have any more people. They have ghost cities. Like a lot of it's smoke and mirrors, and it's only what they let you see because the media is so locked down. But anyway, just saying, what's the outcome? What is the outcome of all this? It's very, I don't want to say it's interesting, it's scary, but what's the common theme of all these different things that are part of the same movement? You have the fat positivity, which is where we really come into this with the Swole fam and the 7 pillars about the health. But then it's the mental health. And then it's, I don't know what sex I am. And then we're trans kids and that kind of contagion, like all these different things that you see on TikTok. And it's like all this stuff, it leads to no more people. It leads to an authoritarian nightmare, and it leads to just depopulation. That's the outcome of poor nutrition. That's the outcome of poor habits. A lot of people can't have children. They're having trouble conceiving. Yeah, because you're sucking down soy and exposing yourself to phthalates and eating fucking crickets and, I don't know, tofu all the fucking time and sucking and just, you're not getting sleep. You're stressed out. You're injecting experimental drugs and like you're just completely in the matrix. You're just a drone. So what's important to understand is you can say different things, and then people are going to poo-poo you or call you a conspiracy. Yeah, that's actually a compliment nowadays. It means you're paying fucking attention. But just keep in mind that what really matters is what's the result. And I'll give you another analogy just so to make it more sense too. Yeah, it's a death cult. It's a culture of death, Lester, essentially. So what? So going with that, I forget what I was going to say. Oh, an analogy is like an abusive relationship. Okay? An abusive relationship, there's different types of abuse, but just think about it in general, right? An abusive relationship where someone's psychologically manipulating you into thinking, oh, it's for your own good. No, I do this because I love you. It's because I love you so much. That's the reason why. It's the same fucking thing. What's the outcome? You're beating the shit out of someone, or you're psychologically fucking them up and gaslighting them and manipulating them. Like we would call that abuse, verbal abuse, psychological abuse, physical abuse, like in relationships and things like that. Male to female, female to or male to, it can be in different ways, but it's for your own good, or it's for the greater good. It's because I love you so much. I'm just so passionate that it gets out of control sometimes. I didn't mean to, it won't happen, but what's the outcome? What's the outcome? You're physically and psychologically injuring and damaging someone. So you can say you love them. You can say whatever the fuck you want. What's the actual result? What's the actual outcome? Just look at what's happening. What is the outcome? What is the result of all these things? You could say you're doing it for whatever you want. You can say you care about the fucking environment because the sea level is going to rise an inch by 2150. Okay. Or you can keep on using the best sources of fuel, not start proxy wars, or encourage and facilitate proxy wars in other countries to support to support and manipulate, other countries literally breaking down, eradicating our society. You can open up drilling and fracking in our oil dense country here, become energy independent, utilize these fossil fuels to facilitate prosperity for our country, bring manufacturing back here, lower energy costs so we can create more technology that can do things like graphene and carbon capture and all these technologies, and solar and wind when they're applicable, but they're intermittent. We don't have the electrical grid required for. We can develop, next gen nuclear and all these different things that can make the world a better place. But instead, oh my God, oil is evil. How dare you? We have all this stupid shit.
How dare you?
From these children with Down syndrome that are just being used as a puppet. being used as a puppet just to psychologically manipulate the entire world to thinking that, I don't know, there's going to be some Armageddon in the next 5 fucking years. Or do we use all the resources we have to develop technology? And as we develop more technologies, we fortify the cities, we build better structures, we improve the environment over time, which I think everyone has the goal. I have no problem with that kind of stuff. I have no problem with that stuff. Improve the environment, clean the oceans, like fuck yeah, carbon capture, all that stuff, clean that stuff up. But guess what you need for that? You need fossil fuels for that. You need technology. You need innovation. You need entrepreneurship. You need capitalism. You need that shit. Any questions? Lester Stone says autism. I know. I know. I know. Let's give away today's Swole.
Make me happy.
Okay, fam. Capitalism, the naughty C word. It used to be cunt. Now it's capitalism. What a good word. What a good word. Mark, as I said a while back, Papa's rants are like really great sex. I feel like I need a cigarette after that. Smoking a pancake.
Because
Oh, we're all autistic sometimes, right, Rihanna? We are all. I love it. It's a spectrum. It's a spectrum. What isn't these days? Everything's a spectrum. Everything is. This is an easy way to like, call me this. We're all autistic today. Why not? Fuck it. Why not? Why not? Give me some views. All right, here we go. Let's give away today's Swole card. Drum roll. Falcon. Music. I think we know where it's going. We know where it's going. Come on now. All right, today's Tainty Magooch card, straight up fucking facts. Today's winner is Joe. Congratulations. A lot of you suspected that Joe was going to win it earlier and like almost forgot. I'm like, oh my God. This post was so awesome. We kicked it off as an epic mancast. We kicked it off with Joe's post. Absolutely fantastic. Joe, send us an email. Everyone, can you go in the Facebook group and let Joe know that he won today's Swole card? Congratulations. Send us an email, support, and tag him in the comments. That way he gets alerts or whatever, because he says he sometimes hasn't interacted in a while. Support@swolenumbers.com, Swole card 2538. In the subject, mailing address, in the body of the email, and we'll send you this Swole card. You are crushing it in more ways than one. Joe's our palate cleanser. Totally. Totes my goats. Totally a palate cleanser. Speaking of palate cleansers. Aww.
Is this a list of things I did to your mom last night?
We'll take some soundboard requests. If you got them, drop them in the comments down below. Come on, bitches. Come on now.
God damn it, I don't know what it is about your face, but I want to deliver one of those right in your suckhole.
Is there anything I can do to work on that?
No, not really, just your face.
Boys have a penis, girls have vagina.
Huge bitch! Loud noises!
Coffee's for closers only.
Smooth. Very, very smooth stuff. Very classy. I'm learning a lot from you right now, dude.
I arrived in America's airport with clothing, US dollars, and a jar of gypsy tears to protect me from AIDS.
Emotional damage.
Your father was a woman.
Thank you for being here, Dan. Full Metal Jacket. I got you, Dan.
The more you hate me, the more you will learn.
We got it now.
He's on fire!
Nothing but a shabby head. Lifeless eyes. Black eyes like a doll's eyes.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again.
All right. Very nice. Very, very nice. Remember that? Was that Saturday Night Live? All right, fam. Thank you so much for being here. Oops, got to crank up the song. Got to like tie it in, clamp it down. Fam, thanks for being here. Make sure you check out swolenormousx.com to get access to all the private live streams. Roundtable this Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern time. But share the show with your friends, swolenormousx.com for all those details. Links in the show notes below. All those details are down below. Subscribe and leave us a 5-star review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you bang your ear holes. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow for 2539. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose. Ya boy, Papa Swolio. Oh.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like...
Yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. Off topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element.